Bitcoin is immensely misunderstood by people, and I think it makes sense, but I also think people are doing much more harm than they realize. So I think it makes sense that people are so disillusioned or critical about Bitcoin because in our fiat world, everything is manipulated, right? There's so little objective truth. Outcomes and realities are completely distorted. People have completely different views of the world and how things work. And it makes sense that people criticize Bitcoin, but they're doing more harm than they realize. Let me explain. Bitcoin is one of the, if not the most transparent, open protocols that we have, right? It's open source. It's completely transparent. Everyone can view the ledger and view transactions, and it's a censorship resistant protocol, right? Bitcoin is what it is, and anyone can go and verify what it is. So when people say, Bitcoin's manipulated, Bitcoin, bad people use Bitcoin or are associated with Bitcoin, they're really fundamentally misunderstanding what Bitcoin actually is. It doesn't matter who invested in Bitcoin. It doesn't matter, who uses it. It matters what Bitcoin is. And what it is a transparent, open source monetary protocol for people to store and transfer value, right? It doesn't matter that the price is volatile. People will be like, look at the price, how could it be a store of value when the price is down 40%? Again, it's the most transparent and honest thing out there, right? Anyone can verify what it is. So these criticisms don't really make sense. And I think these people are doing a lot of harm because they're just repeating the same old recycled stories and FUD about Bitcoin without really understanding what it is, which is a protocol for prosperity, peace, and reason and truth and transparency. These are important things. So again, it makes sense when our food is manipulated with, our media is manipulated, everything feels manipulated and feels like there's some kind of grand conspiracy behind it. But Bitcoin is the one layer of truth that nobody can mess with. So I empathize with people that misunderstand Bitcoin and think it's a Ponzi scheme or a scam, when the whole fiat system is a Ponzi scheme, right? We pay into Social Security so the system can keep running, even though there's no guarantee that it's not going to run out, which odds say Social Security is going to run out for us who are paying into it now, right? The whole fiat system is a manipulated Ponzi scheme. And if you don't know any better, if you've never known or understood anything else, it makes sense that you would think Bitcoin is just another fiat game. But crypto is the real fiat game that's masquerading as a prosperity and truth protocol. And crypto has done immeasurable harm to people's understanding of Bitcoin and its revolutionary aspects. Crypto is just another version of fiat, right? It's a system where people can spin up currency, quote unquote currency, and sell it to other people with no real cost of production, right? It's just another fiat game that people are playing, and they're using it to use people as exit liquidity for more dollars. With Bitcoin, right? The people advocating for Bitcoin, I'm not trying to sell you a course. I'm not trying to sell you my Bitcoin. I will never sell you my Bitcoin, or anyone for that matter, because Bitcoin is better money. Why would I exchange my money that has superior monetary protocols like a fixed supply, censorship resistance, etc., for a type of money that is printed out of thin air, right? When people say, when are you going to sell Bitcoin? Should I sell Bitcoin? The follow-up question is always, for what, right? Sell Bitcoin for what, right? I'm not going to sell Bitcoin for another shitcoin, right? That someone created at zero cost to themselves and then are trying to sell to the public. I'm not going to sell my Bitcoin for Federal Reserve notes that are also created at zero cost and have no real value. So again, I don't think what crypto bros and Bitcoin skeptics realize how much damage they're doing, because they're drawing people away from Bitcoin due to their own misunderstanding. I think crypto bros are especially problematic because they are convincing people that they've created a better version of Bitcoin, and you should ignore Bitcoin because it's too old or too slow or whatever they've convinced you about Bitcoin. And they're saying, buy my thing instead. And then they're going to sell you their thing that they created at zero cost. And they're going to, either exchange it for more dollars because they don't actually understand Bitcoin, or they're going to exchange the dollars you give them for more Bitcoin. So again, no one is trying to sell you Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin can't be a pyramid scheme. It doesn't need new entrants, to keep functioning. But again, if everything you've ever known is fiat money and deception and lies and a broken system, sure, it makes sense why you would say Bitcoin is just those things reimagined. But it's not. It's fundamentally different because of what it is. And again, it's just crazy, like people just repeating the same nonsense over and over again. Bitcoin was used by this bad person, so it's bad. Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, just the same. Bitcoin's a pyramid scheme. They don't have any real basis. And when the media starts parroting the next Bitcoin talking point, they'll be on that next, right? It's quantum computing today. It'll be something else tomorrow. And the same topics will keep getting recycled over and over again until Bitcoin is the base settlement monetary layer of the planet Earth, and they've realized they've wasted all this time complaining and criticizing something they didn't even really understand to begin with. So again, no one is trying to sell you Bitcoin. My reason for being so passionate about this is because I believe fiat money is the biggest problem plaguing humanity today, and I believe so many other problems have stemmed from that same problem. And Bitcoin is the best solution for that problem because it's money that has all the properties that fiat money doesn't have. It's decentralized, it's permissionless, it's global, it has a fixed supply, right? It solves those issues. So doing this isn't to sell you a course, isn't to hope that the value of my Bitcoin goes up so that I can exit it and sell it for a bunch of dollars and then move to a coast somewhere and chillax. My goal is to spread education because I think this is an important issue and there's a solution in front of us, and people are wasting their times either criticizing that solution or selling you a different solution that they say is better than this other solution, and you shouldn't buy that other solution because mine is way better. Here you go. And I don't really have anything to gain here, right? Everything's about incentives. Like, what do you think my incentive is to sit here every single day and record a video about Bitcoin or about my life, right? I'm a very small fish. Bitcoin is $1 trillion asset. There's no clear measurable incentive for me to pitch you Bitcoin in hopes that you buy Bitcoin so my Bitcoin will become more valuable, right? That would be an extremely futile effort. I think so many other Bitcoiners have those kind of same clear, valid incentives as well. So stay humble, stack sats, even if it's a small amount, just start somewhere. Start exchanging your fiat money for hard money that no one can mess with. That's about it for this video. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like, subscribe, comment with any questions, suggestions for future videos. That really helps out the channel a ton. And as always, together, let's work, save, and build a better future with Bitcoin. See you in the next video.